So what's this vortex that we're talking about? The vortex is, you were source energy. That's the vortex. You came forth into this physical body, and as that little infant, you were still vibrationally tied to that vortex. In other words, the vortex is what we mean by the highest vibration and the holding of all of the intentions that you hold from source perspective that are absolutely non-resistant. In other words, the vortex is this holder of your greatest source energy intentionality. So the vortex existed before you were born. You were born, a part of your consciousness came into this body. The larger part of you remains in this non-physical vortex. So here you are in your physical body, sifting through contrast just like you intended to from your non-physical perspective. And when you know what you don't want, you shoot off a rocket of desire about what you do want, because in every conversation, in every point of focus, there is the side of the equation that holds more resistance and the side of the equation that holds no resistance. In other words, wanted and unwanted is part of every point of focus. So when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and you launch this rocket of desire, and this rocket of desire goes into your vortex where your inner being holds it. Your inner being becomes a vibrational match to this new request that you've set forth. Now, usually when you are launching these rockets of desire, you are not likely to follow them right into the vortex, because the whole reason that you launched the rocket to begin with is because you're focused upon what you do not want. That's what your practice is for a while. That's what your proclivity is. And so you're launching this rocket of desire, but you're nowhere near it. And so there is a vibrational separation. Separation is not the perfect word, but it makes the point. There's a vibrational difference between the request, the new and improved version of you, the expanded version of you, and what your practice thought is right here and now. And if there's too much expanse between who you've become and who you're being right now, you feel awful. If there's very little expanse between who you've become and who you're being right now, you feel pretty good. And when you're really a perfect match to who you really are, you feel so wonderful. You feel elation. You feel love. You feel appreciation. You feel really frisky. You feel vivacious. You feel full of yourself. You feel like romping. You feel, someone sent put a comment on one of the forums or posts about the new meditation CD we'll talk about here in a minute. And she said, my dog lies at my feet and listens with me and then romps more joyfully than I have ever seen him romp. My dog is so affected by this meditation CD. And we say, that's possible. The dog could be picking up on the vibration of it, but more likely the dog is reflecting back to you your improvement in your vibration. So now there are three things that indicate your vibrational relationship. There's your mood, there's what's manifesting, and there's the way your dog is behaving. It lets you know how you're doing too. So as the point that we're making here is that as you stand outside your vortex, wanting to get in but outside your vortex, and you make effort to get in other words, I know I'm not in, I need to get in, or I know I don't have enough money, I need to line up with more money. The effort that you make, efforting from outside the vortex, increases the vibration of resistance rather than softening it. And so then the crevasse between where you want to be and where you are gets greater, and that's why sometimes your very own desires don't feel pretty to you. You say things like, I wish I didn't want that. I actually felt better before I knew I wanted that. And we want to say to you, you can never pull back from your desires. You must find a way to align with them. Because once life has caused you to put it into the vortex, you got to line up with it to fulfill that creation that you've set into motion. To demonstrate the point, we've been having a lot of fun with any of these cards. Money and the Law of Attraction is a good one, because that's something that so many people are reaching for. So let's say that you are in a place where there is not as much money as you want or need, and you've decided that you're going to do something about it. And you've heard tell of the most brilliant of brilliant cards that have ever been written in all time and space. We wrote them. These are affirmation cards. They are called Money and the Law of Attraction. So from your place of need or frustration or worry or even fear, you get these cards and you want them to do their magic, and you begin reading, "It comes not by magic." Damn. But by universal law. Well, that sucks. I can have money and freedom too. How can I break this to my employer? I'm not going to be there, but pay me anyway. Because freedom is what I want, and money is what I want, and so it's up to you. My attention to it invites the essence of it. Yeah. I have control over the thoughts I think. Right. My financial success does not require hard work. Who writes this stuff? There's no shortage of money. The better my story gets, the better my life gets. I don't like these cards at all. So you're getting the point that we are making. We want you to understand that if you are vibrationally too far removed from what you're reaching for, that effort to get there doesn't get you very far. In fact, it usually steps you back, because in the same way, have you ever had a conversation with someone you didn't agree with, and the longer you debated, the more sure you were right, and the more sure they were that they were right, and no common ground was ever discovered? It just got more and more and more aggravated and agitated and animated and out of control. Well, you sort of have that same battle with yourself. If you've decided that the world isn't treating you right, and you've decided that there is unfairness going on, and then you pick up these cards, we expect to find them littered along the highway. Because you'll want to fling them. In other words, you angry birds. You won't like the way these cards make you feel if you're not in the vibrational vicinity of what truth they speak. So it's hopeless for all of you. Go home. So what is the remedy? Well, the remedy is you wait until you're in the vortex. And we want to say to you, you are every day at some point of or other in the vortex. In other words, the vortex will take you in. Sometimes you're not aware of it, but there are many times through the day when you've lost your ability to specifically focus negatively. In other words, you just don't have that kind of staying power. You don't. You don't. Something will distract you. The sun will come up. It will be a beautiful day. A waft of wind will come across your face. A bird will fall. Oh, we'll forget about the birds for a little while. You will find yourself feeling good through the day at some point or another, which means anytime you feel a little relief, you're at least moving in the direction of the vortex, maybe even in there. And what we want to say to you is, you want to do all of your affirming once inside the vortex.